For many people, Deadpool and Wolverine will be their most anticipated film of the summer. So, has it delivered? Well, if you look at things like cameos, Easter eggs and references, it's all gold stars for them in that regard. But in terms of the actual story, that's where the film does fall short. And look, you'd be fair to say, hold on, I'm saying Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm not really here for the story. I don't need that to be, anything too amazing. I am here for those references. I'm here for Hugh Jackman back as the Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, and seeing these two combine with each other to have this bromance. And so although this film isn't a rom-com, you can maybe call it a brom-com perhaps, and it very much is an action film because the action scenes are very crowd-pleasing. As I said in my short reaction, this film is top-heavy and it really does crave some foundations when it comes to the story beats. Like, it really is stretching to get from a point A to point B. And you can only have enough sort of nerd reactions in between to get you so far.
That was cool.
I'm going to save a lot of discussion around the plot specifically for a spoiler video, but this obviously does take place within the multiverse saga of the MCU. And that comes with its own challenges because it really does lack those consequences when you see characters potentially get in danger. You think, oh, they might die, but if they do die, we can always get another variant. And we saw in Logan how important it is to have stakes, because when you see a character die after going through many different films with them, and they did it in a way which gave him that hero's ending, was very emotional. But you're never going to get anything like that in this film. And again, I wasn't expecting to have any big emotional scene like we saw in that movie, but just to have anything is important, because otherwise, why are we all here? We're just sort of just doing things for the sake of it. And this is really brought into focus when we see a fight scene between Wolverine and another character, and Deadpool describes it as something fans have been waiting years to see. And they have been waiting years to see this, but with any fight, it's all about what the fighter is fighting for. But when that really isn't there, it means the fight is hollow. And so a lot of this film is hollow. It's like, it's great seeing all these cameos and seeing, things which will make people cheer in the cinema. But that, again, can only go so far until we get into the meat of everything. Now, look, I have no doubts that Deadpool and Wolverine will do very well at the box office. People have been waiting years to see Hugh Jackman back as the Wolverine, and people love Deadpool, and seeing these two characters and these two actors together is a big draw. Not only that, but we also have this being a year where there's not been that many comic book films, and so it is a bit of a dry season for this genre. I also think this film will get a lot of positive scores from audiences because they're seeing it in big crowds, and so they'll get that experience, but also because it does hit the main things people want to see, and that is the references, the action, and the comedy. The comedy itself is hit or miss, but when it hits, it does make you actually laugh, so I'll give the film credit for that. But like in that episode of The Simpsons with the steamed hams where we see Skinner try and hide the burning kitchen from Superintendent Chalmers, that is pretty much what these references and jokes are doing to try and hide the fact that the film isn't well put together. Like we saw in the first two Deadpool films, the soundtrack is very good, so some great song choices here for the action scenes, especially the opening action scene, which really gets you pumped up for the film. Now, as there is so much to talk about with this film that does go into spoilers, I will be doing that spoiler video very soon, but I think unlike some of the other recent Marvel films we've seen, this film does at least have effort being shown. Like, we can see that they wanted to make a good film, but just failed to do so, whereas some films you see and you think, did they even try?
That's the best you can do!
Maybe let me know your thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine in the comments below, and I'll get back on that spoiler video very soon. But in the meantime, if you want to watch another video, on screen are a couple of my recent reviews.